Hey everyone, Sketch Card Hive here with my very good friend Matt Fuller. We are here today to discuss something that he is finally, he's been doing this for a very long time, longer than I have with sketch cards. But now he's in it, and now I feel like he's caught it. You know what I mean? The sickness is in him now. So we are talking about character collecting. Now, character collecting for me is my most beloved part of collecting hobby in terms of characters I collect, like the Surfer or Spot, and getting to know many of you. Many of my close friends in the hobby are character collectors through and through. Um, I remember starting the podcast with Ian Taylor, and we were bonding over our love of character collecting because he has a brilliant Black Cat collection. And we've done a couple of podcasts over there where we talked about it. But I've been wanting for a long time on my own channel to highlight people like Matt and to highlight what character collecting is. So this is going to act as a guide to character collecting / Matt Fuller interview. And we'll do another Matt Fuller interview because yeah, exactly. He's he's been knighted to get in here. So he is one of us now. I see Bad Wizard in the chat. Thank you for being here. A few other character collectors, high profile character collectors, should be entering the chat. I sent some private messages out, and so if they are available, they will watch. I'm going to be sharing some crazy stuff here that I've never shared with anybody. Hey, what's up, Interglobal? Hey, by the way, are you doing Null? Are you the character collector for Null? I've been watching you pick some stuff up. I feel like that's who you are, considering your icon, your user image there. Phil, what's up, Phil? I'm going to show some crazy stuff. Matt's going to show some crazy stuff. I knew you were a Null collector. I really hope you get excited about this, and I want to hear your thoughts. So please DM me, okay, brother? I'm going to show how I do it. I'm going to show Matt how I do it, which he knows most of it because he has to listen to me talk about this all day anyway. And I'm excited to see where Matt's head is at because he is a far more, how can I say this without making him sound nuts?
Obsessive.
Way more than I am. And I am pretty out there, but Matt is just on another level. When Matt starts something, it's over. It's 0 to 100 and it's done. Nothing can stop it. But it's really exciting. I got my second camera here, and we are going to be seeing some fun stuff from my collection, but also how I organize it. So we'll get into that as well. And let me just start off by asking Matt to introduce himself, tell everybody what you're doing, and everybody
Sure.
should know you by now, but would love to hear some
Sure.
more.
Absolutely. So, Matt, OCD Sketch Cards on Instagram, something else on YouTube because I'm terrible at social media. Yeah, and I have been collecting sketch cards for a long time. And at one point, I just decided to make my focus specifically Dani Moonstar from the New Mutants. And in fact, while I'm talking, what I can do is, so you don't have to look at me, I can jump over and, as an example, this is one of my many sketch cards of Dani. So I have been a character collector, but a very narrowly focused one, which is only around sketch cards, right? Um, and I've watched Norin specifically, but so many other people with their focus on these characters, and I've always sort of toyed with the idea of, do I want to go beyond this into cards? Um, and I honestly don't even know what sort of made me make the jump. Um, if I had to guess, it was probably even a card that, while she's in, doesn't necessarily have her name on the card, which is the Unbound piece by Fred Ian, the Demon Bear that has
Interesting.
Dani in it. Because I'd been collecting Unbound, I did the whole base on season one, and I've been collecting season two. I knew this one was coming, so I grabbed the autograph. I grabbed, the base, the canvas, the rainbow foil, all of those, and then I was fortunate enough to grab a plate and then another plate, and suddenly I realized, hey, I'm character collecting here, and these aren't sketch cards. And then
Wow.
he was like, well, you sort of nailed it on the head, Norin. It's like, well, I've already got six. Might as well go for all 200.
Why not? You're so in it now.
Exactly. I mean, come on. I'm 3% of the way there. Might
You're
as well just
so
go for it.
close. By tomorrow, it's over. Oh my gosh. But I love that though, because like, and I think what's really fun for people in the chat and for people when they watch this video, because I really do honestly believe character collecting is going to be more of a thing than it is now. And I think it's because sets are so massive that the only real way to participate is to be creative. And one of those creative ways is going to be character collecting. And so many of us have been doing it for a long time. And there's going to be a point, and I hate that I'm going to say this publicly, but I'm going to say it anyway, where it's going to be very difficult to be a certain level of character collector for a character. Like the time is going to be gone. So I was talking to Null just be at the beginning of this video because in my head, Null's such a good character, and I'm sorry I'm putting you out there, buddy, but he's already, he or she, I don't know you like that, but you are so far in doing this, and I've seen parts of this already, and I thought it was such a good idea that I'm excited to see people like Interglobal Collectible 77 to kind of grow a character into a collection. And I think a lot of us do end up getting to a character collection because we're rainbow characters, especially someone who's starting now. Like I talked to Rowan, who's back, I forget his full Instagram name, but he started collecting Surfer. So I've been helping him out, and like if he needed extra stuff or stuff that I already have and whatever grade that I'm happy with, I would sell him whatever I don't have. There's Doom, my other character collector. I'm so glad you're here, Jesus. Thank you so much. Um, but this is kind of where people are going with their collections. So we have a couple of things we can do and how we can start. I can show you guys the write up I had and just talk a little bit through that write up and just give you an idea of all the ins and outs, get Matt's opinion. This is a working document, it's not published anywhere. This is just something I've been thinking about as a character collecting guide. You do not have to collect this way. I'm doing this for fun because I am obsessed about this at this point, and I'm excited just to have like a bigger chat with a lot of people who I've been character collecting with for a very long time. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll go ahead and look at this document. Which don't kill me. It's not hasn't been like super proofed, but it is pretty exciting for me to go over this. So first thing off the bat, definition of character collecting. Collect all cards pertaining to the character you collect from their very first card to their most current. Now that's going to change, but in essence, that's what character collecting is. Okay? How did you collect your master checklist? I'm going to give you guys helpful hints of things that I did to finally find every little card because it gets pretty intense as you're going to see. So first off, let's just go through the different types of character collectors, right? The first type is a set character collector, similar to what Matt did with Demon Bear, right? Collected the rainbow and got one card that was a one of one. And that's a complete rainbow. Every parallel and one card that's a one of one. That could be a sketch, that could be a plate, that could be anything. That's usually what you see with a character rainbow. And I would consider this set character collecting, like a set character collector. For instance, I collected Spot pretty heavily, and I have all the cards Spot came out with. It's just not many. But the one I really went to town on and how I really fell in love with Spot was 2017 Fleet Ultra Spider-Man. And that was the and I have the original artwork as well, which can be a benefit. I think it's kind of crazy to hold people to that standard, but that usually occurs with character collectors as well, especially set character collectors. Next, oh, good. Charles is here. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here, brother. Hey, buddy. And then next, we got to get back to work. I'm going to watch this later. Thanks for please. If you have any questions later, TC, hit me up. Okay, brother? All right. Casual character collector. Collect one of any rarity of your said character from every set that has appeared in. No parallels, chases, inserts, printing plays, sketches necessary to be considered a character collector. Have fun with it. A casual character collector is someone who just loves the character and picks up cards from every set that they've been in, whichever one. And that could be a character collection, right? I don't think it needs to have all the bells and whistles. I think when you start going down that path, you increase your level of competition and price point. And I think you can character collect on a very simple budget and actually get a lot out of it personally. Just my personal opinion. What do you think about those two so far, Matt?
No, definitely agree. I mean, there's, that's sort of how I started out. In fact, as I was doing the Demon Bear, it made me reminded me, and I have these sitting aside, um, that my first character collection was a set, and it was actually from Premiere. Can't remember, it was 2019 cable, right? Because when I was breaking on EPACs a lot of this, and I pulled the 101 and the 105, I said, well, at that point, might as well get the rest. So I think you're right. That's the most, first of all, it's probably the most sane, but certainly the most cost-effective way to do it, depending on the character, right? Uh,
Yes.
I think for Interglobal, like there's advantages to a character like Null because I think he's only what, like 5 years old, so
Yeah.
you're
Super
getting
young.
in on the ground floor, and then you're just going to be chasing the new stuff. My character goes back to the late 70s, I believe, early
Yes.
80s. Your character goes back a little further than that. It's a bit depending sort of who you pick.
Yeah.
You could be, the broader you are, the more work you're going to be pulling.
And
Um,
and that would lead me to like our first hint of like character collecting, our first helpful tip on character collecting. Find out your character's first year appearance, and then go to somewhere like Jeff Allister's checklist or Beckett or Cardboard Connection or trading card database, which is something I used, right? And I'll show you guys my checklist and what I look to composite it, and then look for the year, because like I never had to worry about Surfer being in 66 Donruss because you know what I mean. He wasn't invented in '66. You know what I mean. He's still in the lead of the pencil that Kirby was drawing with. You know what I mean. He wasn't there. So that's a really good key thing to do.
yeah. And
You,
this follows up a question Bad Wizard just asked, which is exactly how do you create your master checklist?
yep.
Um, and I think all those sites Nora listed are great. I started with the modern stuff, and I just went to the marketplace on EPEX, and I just searched for my character and her aliases. So, for example, my character is Dani Moonstar, but when she started out, her name was Mirage. She was also briefly a Valkyrie, so I did a search on that. And then I did a search on New Mutants. And then I took those same four searches and I went to the Beckett site, and I did a search on all of their graded population for those and just sorted through. I used eBay as a reference for pictures to make sure the character was there in the background. We'll get into that craziness a little later, but
Appearance
those two
card.
are two pretty easy, great starts.
I love that. So to reiterate what Matt says, because I think it's super important. Um, EPAC, looking for your characters' aliases is a huge one. There are so many surfer cards that I almost missed because he went by Nornrad, which is not my real name. So I'm sorry to disappoint you if this is a newsflash. Um, it was heartbreaking to realize that. I had no idea. A lot of Versus system cards, a lot of TCG cards do that kind of weird stuff, or by other aliases like Herald of Galactus, Sentinel of the Space Waves, right? Best thing to do is go to wiki or go to marvel.com and just look at all your aliases for your character's name and just eBay search. And you'll come across so much. And teams. The big thing, like Matt said with New Mutants, like my character is part of the Defenders, right? Like I have to look up that team constantly just to cross reference I'm not missing any surfers. If you're thinking at this point, you're watching this video and saying, these guys have a problem, you're right. And it's
Yes,
only going to get worse.
join
Definitely going
us. Join
to
us.
get So, this is where we're at. Now we're going to get into the crazy world. High end character collector. I collected Mandalorian Din Djarin, and he, like Null, is a character that came up fairly recent. So I was able to get on the ground floor, having all the experience I have now collecting cards. And I was able to make basically a high end character collection, a high end character collector. This type of collection is organized by historical and not manufactured rarity. That's not a knock on manufactured rarity. That is simply a term that I'm doing there so you know my goals for that high end collection were based on things that are not going to be repeated. I don't have to go for every red spectrum or every gold masterwork card. I could pick and choose, right? Flexibility for a high end collector is super important when you pick a character like that. These types of collections are usually small and feature very rare pack pulled auto sketches by high end, popular, significant artists into the character. They're usually small and jam packed with some of the most important cards to the character. That's my opinion. I think when you go into a character like that and you get super focused, I probably now have less than 15 Mandalorian cards when I had about 60, and I downsized all the way to get to the tippy top. And then eventually there's cards you can't grab and they'll never exist. So you have to, reevaluate and reconstruct. And I do that all the time. And that's how I enjoy the collection. Next one, which Matt is going to talk about because he knows this crowd either just as well or better than I do. Sketch card character collectors. These are probably the OGs of character collecting. This is how it started, I think. I'm guessing. I was born in '85, so this was '97 when Sketchgraphs came out. There were so many OGs of this hobby who you just can't find. They usually have AOL, Hotmail, or Yahoo email accounts, or they were on Scoundrel back in the day, or the Yahoo email service mail list.
Net zero.
Net zero, net zero. Wow, wow, net zero. So these ladies and gentlemen, they picked a character, and they got every sketch card by that of that character by different artists, and it's beautiful. I wish I was around back in the day because you could have, and Matt has this in his collection, which is why I'm always so jealous, is that you could have one character repeated over 100 times, each one by a different artist, and you're getting all these beautiful different renditions of the character, all by different styles and abstract designs and creative decisions. I mean, it's just a phenomenal way to collect. Phenomenal way to collect. And then I'll leave it over to Matt because he knows more about this than I do.
No, no, I agree, and it also doesn't have to be. But you're not limited if you're getting into it now, right? It doesn't all have to be just historic, although those are obviously some of the more fun ones. Back in the day where you had all these classic comic book names from in like 97, 98. But the vast majority of mine is much more modern, either pack pulled or also with APs, just doing exactly that, just throwing out a concept and letting the artist run with it and just getting this amazing variety of views of the character. It just adds a whole nother level. And you can do it from a highly curated perspective and say, this is exactly what I want. And if you've got that sort of creativity, then you can guide that process exactly the way you want it. And that's something I did on the Lord of the Rings side, where I had very specific scenes I wanted to see and whatnot. And then that you could also do it the way I did it with Dani and Marvel, which is to take a much more hands-off approach to say, literally, I did over 125 APs of Dani, where the only instructions I gave to the artist were 4 words, which was Dani Moonstar, Demon Bear. I said, do whatever you want. And the variety and that I got, my creativity could have never come up to even a fraction of what I got as a result from just sort of trusting, knowing that I love the artists and just trusting the process. So.
I'm absolutely obsessed that you did that. I get so excited when no, I really no, and this is not being like excited Fausto because I am excited Fausto, but like this is real. This is very much something that I was very enamored with, and in fact, I started my first videos on APs from Surfer, which I don't know if you remember back in the day, Matt, but that's how it first started. Like I had Luro Laurel before
Yeah.
any, you know what I mean, before she even became really famous. I had a sketch from her AP. I have a video on my Instagram, very first videos from her. Telma, like I just went down the line, but I couldn't keep up with the price point, and I realized very quickly that my enjoyment wasn't in seeing what the result was. My enjoyment was hunting for cards. So I had to switch gears. But I love seeing it happen in Matt's collection because it's just like I'm getting to vicariously live through this experience, which is really interesting. But these are sketch card collectors, character collectors, and they are again some of the oldest types of collectors for character collecting that we have in our hobby. So it's pretty cool to see. I think this is where the roots of this came from in terms of Marvel. I met a lot of Pokemon people who pick a Pokemon and they go all the way through. Star Wars collectors do this as well. It's just everywhere in non-sport, but I think in Marvel, It might have taken off in 97 because I think so much about Marvel cards at the beginning, there were set collectors. They would collect the full set and do master collection of binders. So,
Yep. And then before we jump into this, can you pull up Bad Wizard's last comment? We can just
absolutely.
quickly
Yes.
address this before we lose it, and I'll no, next one down. Sorry. Although this is a good question too.
Let's do this because I just
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
this. Fausto, how long should I wait until after a set drops before I start building a rainbow? Okay. I think Matt's going to go with me on this one. My advice for that, the only rush to a rainbow is one of ones and anything below 10 and below 10 and tens. Those are the ones you really have to jump on quickly within reason. Okay? Within reason. If you see a 10 at a stupid price, I think you can skip the first 10 and wait for someone to pull one on Facebook and use the ridiculous price to get a lower price, which will probably be the more correct price for what you're hunting. But anything below 10, it's hard because once you pass on those, they come up, but they rarely come back around.
Right. Like, so if the set just dropped and we're on the physical boxes stage and I saw one of one plate, as long as the price wasn't just stupid, I would take it then. And then, other than, yeah, like the really rare ones, same thing, under 10. Other than that, wait for a week or two after EPAX drops when the craziness has started to die down. Unless, with the one caveat that it does also depend on character. Like if you're going for like Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, you're going to be in a knuckle brawl from day one. So Godspeed to you.
And female characters. Those guys and female characters, you're going to be screwed the whole way through the process. Now, the truth is with these kind of characters is that if you have a lot of money, that's going to get you very far very fast. Then you're going to hit the wall because the people who are collecting those high profile characters, they don't need the cash. They're going to want trade. And then from there, you're going to have to make compromises on your character collection. Like, maybe I'll just do years between X and X. Maybe I'll compromise and say, you know what? For my character collection, I'm only ever going to do all the cards, but the only rarity of anything I'm going to collect is oranges or like what ifs, right? I think when you make those compromises, you can have a really complete collection without having to need it to be everything. And that's the trick to all this kind of stuff. I really love these questions, by the way, Bad Wizard. I
Yeah.
really appreciate
Or
you.
if you want everything, understand that these days it's going to be, unless it's like Spot, who's very, very limited, it's going to be next to impossible to get every card, right? I've got a character, I've got some roadblocks that I'm already accepted I'm not going to get over because I did not chase 2018 Fleer Ultra X-Men when it came out. There's one person who owns about 80% of it. So the odds that I'm going to get the 4 dual comic cuts, one of each with Dani, to not only just to get one of each, but to also get one with her in the cut, no, that's the likelihood of even one is low. So as long as you understand that this is about the journey and not the destination, I think you can still have fun, even though there's always going to be that little red line on the checklist that, it's your white whale and you're
And
chasing
you're
it.
gonna, I love that. He's 100% right. I've been collecting Surfer for a very long time, very seriously for a very long time, and I'll explain what I mean by seriously soon. But there will always be empty spots in my collection, without a doubt. It's just going to be A, because I won't compromise on a price, or B, the person who has it, guess what, is the other Silver Surfer character collector. Make a network with other collectors who collect your character because you can help each other finish what you both need and be happy. And trust me on that. I do think that is possible. I don't think it has to be a competition in a way. We have some crazy good character collectors in this chat. So let me highlight. We're going to get to Bad Wizard's next comic because I want to get to what Matt's saying. Doom has a beautiful list here. Trading card database, EPAC, endless, eBay, Google Images. Google Images. Doom, you killed it. That's a huge one. You'd be surprised what you stumble onto, especially, and this is probably what Doom's referring to, foreign cards. That one's a killer. Foreign cards are really tough because you have to learn the spelling of your character's name in all different languages and then use Google Translate to copy paste. I know I have a problem, but Google Images will help you get there. Yeah. So, are you talking about syntax wise?
Yes. So what I would say is you can always go to the sites and just use their built-in search feature, but a lot of them, a trick when you're using Google is, for example, for Moonstar, the way I would do a search from Google is I would put Moonstar in quotes, which forces Google to find that exact word, put a space after the quotes, and then type in site, SITE, colon, and then the site you want to search. So it would be site colon, no spaces, so all one string, site colon nslist.com. And it will crawl NS lists and give you a link to every page on there that has the word Moonstar. And I could do that for Mirage, I could do that for New Mutants, and that's a great way to use Google to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you.
You're a sick bastard. I didn't know that. You're going to teach me afterwards. That sounds amazing. I did not know that. Um, I had a lot of tabs opened on my search when I did it back in the day. So there's that. There you go. Helpful. Thank you, Bad Wizard, for bringing that up. And thank you, Matt, for knowing. Um, Interpol, that's awesome idea, Matt. It is. We got someone here. I'm not going to put out what he collects, but if you look at the image, you'll know. This is a badass collector who has plenty and plenty and plenty of this card. Some of the craziest things I've ever seen. So super cool guy. Hey, Sketch Card HQ. What's up, guys? Greg, my Ghost Rider buddy over here, who not only collects Ghost Rider, but other characters as well. But Ghost Rider is his main squeeze, and it's a crazy collection. Very similar to what Matt will be doing, very similar to what I have. First week of drop, I like the Wild Eat, nice. She Hulk is the worst character of all time. You guys have her, everyone hit it up. Don't believe him. She Hulk is an awesome character. I'm so excited. Dude, when they bring an MCU set out and they got She Hulk signing, I'm so excited for you, man. That's going to be a cool card. That's going to be a really cool card. Drop Wild West. Oh my God, did you make that? That's a crazy cool thing. Sorry, my wife started to sew and she made an amazing dress. That's really awesome. Okay, who else do we have here? Drops like the first week of the drop is like Wild Wild West. So that does get pretty tricky. Here's something you should do, and this is what I did for Mando, which I'll probably start doing for Surfer when he comes back into the mix. Find who your breakers are. I hooked up with a good buddy of mine from Titan, Allie, and I had her look out for me every once in a while. And I would watch just a lot of the streams, you know what I mean? And, develop good relationships with your breakers and just ask them, to hook you up, to look for stuff. And if it comes across and they can, they'll let you know. You know what I mean? A good breaker always keeps a good list of people who are looking for certain characters. So that's a big thing that I do, which has been really helpful. Here we go. So we'll get back to the list now. Oh, we have so many in here. This is awesome. Yeah, so that's perfect example. I just picked up a base set for Allure for $40. That's just a crazy price for this set. Yeah, that's a really smart move, right? A lot of people are breaking a lot of cards very quickly in order to get crazy cards up front to pay themselves back. So they're letting go of extra inventory in these base sets cheaply, quickly, and out of the way. Um, it's very smart to be on top of that, not only on the first day of physical release, but also, of course, EPAC when you get to ComC. Rainbows are tough. Rainbows are going to drive you crazy. You're going to be missing the plate. You're going to be missing the sketch card of your dreams, the one of one, an auto. It's just going to get worse before it gets better. But again, if you need to make compromises, you can be patient. The biggest rule of character collecting is be patient. I'm telling you, there are cards I have searched for, Matt's been searching for 10 plus years, 6 plus years, and that's not even a joke. That's not even like a gross estimate, exaggeration. That is really what it is. That's the game. That's just what the game is, and that's where it should be. Hey, we got True Blue in here. Hey, buddy. Um, and many other adjacent villains. Yeah, it's just I love that collection so much. Here we go. A lot of sage advice here that many of us had to learn the hard way. Yep, Ryan, that's right. One of ones put the nail in the coffin to being able to be 100% on a character. A lot of it now is luck and money. That is a fact. A fact. And take it. Listen to this person. This person knows his stuff. And we'll have him on the channel if he ever's okay with it. We'll bring him in. Yes, Bad Wizard. This is a genius thing to do. I will share now this bad boy, which is literally my little black book of targets. Um, this is everything, everything you need to know about collecting Surfer and where cards are existing these pages. Yep, and this
Yep.
is
Well,
years.
we do have something like that on MCCW, right? I maintain that Google spreadsheet of, I think it's called the Marvel Card Collector Want List or something like that. I'll link it later in the post I made earlier so people can find it. But people can put their name, who they collect, artist, set, and then all of their social media links, and you can put as much or as little out there as you want.
And also, too, this brings up the next thing before we get back to this list that I've made here, and we start showing cards, which we will be doing. It's about 30 minutes into this, about like 5, 10 more minutes on this conversation, then we'll start sharing cards. And we'll show some crazy stuff too. So remember, when it comes to character collecting, if you're public or under the radar, um, I think you can character collect efficiently and successfully if you do both. If whatever, whichever road you take. I would say this is the big key difference, though, and this is probably going to hurt me later, but I'm going to say it anyway. Don't show everything. Always keep an ace up your sleeve, especially when it comes to trade, because you'll find a card you want, and someone will ask you, "Hey, what else you got?" You make the decision when to show your hand, and I think that's a huge thing I had to learn the hard way because I'm very open with everything with the collection. But I think I learned that the hard way because people will hold up for things that are just not for trade, and they just won't listen to that compromise, and you'll get stuck having to like either have that argument or just wait years until the person finally gives up. Yeah. As real as that is, that's very real talk.
And there is, I mean, it's funny because I always try to spew in MCCW that it is about community, right? And in an ideal world, we would all work together. But I mean, the truth is, this is a limited commodity in some cases. So people will have, you know, they'll want their own stuff too. Some people might not be willing to give stuff up, and that's okay. I think the hard part in all of this is to understand, like I said earlier, you're not going to be able to get everything. And if you know someone has something and it just can't work out, just make sure you understand that they're potentially in the same position you are, right? So when two people want the same thing, it might not always get that perfect match. And I think you have to be okay with that. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, if I got angry at every trade or purchase I couldn't do, my God, I'd have like popped a blood vessel by now.
And Matt does way more trades than I've ever seen anybody do. So and that's be flexible, right? If there's a rule of this stuff, be patient, be flexible, because you're just bound to come across that wall. It's just gonna happen, and you have to be able to be creative enough to not only get yourself around the full wall, but to find a path that you actually are gonna like better. Because I've come into that in recent times with collecting, where I'm like, you know what? I actually enjoy doing it with these parameters way more than I did the other way. I found that out through the Mando collection. You know what I mean? I just really did, and it's just such a refreshing thing to happen because I've been collecting Surfer for so long. I'm so glad we have Swami in the house. Thank you. Retro's in the house too. Swami, I started Vader, sticking to reds and blacks and loving that, skipping the rest. Smart, very very smart. I know seeing cards that have like 20 different colors, which is insane, is kind of ridiculous. But it does present an opportunity to be like, you know what? Every what if Marvel Masterpiece character of X, I'm going to grab. That is a nice. Could you imagine? That was the most exciting thing when MM20 came out, is that you got to see 16, 18, and 20 of three different of the same character over three different artists. Like that was awesome. You know what I mean? When that starts happening, that's when those collections, like in 10 years or whatever it is, to have like a 9-page sheet of all those different Marvel Masters. You know what I mean? Right now we can have like 10 different, cards from 92. I just think it's a very cool thing. Okay. Hey, Retro. I'm going to get to this. Oh, that's right. Retro does X23. That's right. That's right. That's right.
X20, yeah. This could be a whole show just on
It's crazy.
character collecting, someone that a lot of people collect, right? I
Yeah.
think that's the beauty and the downside, right? That,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people are after that collect character. So I'm sure he has got some great stories on how you navigate that landscape.
Oh, yeah. And it gets there. And, it gets pretty heavy competition. So the last one of here, and there's more ways to character collect. These are the ones that I just thought of off the top of my head. This is the crazy town stuff. This is this is the crazy person thing. This is the master character collector. I actually say yes. I know this is crazy town stuff. This is the type of people who exist, and you should stay away from it at all costs. That's true. This includes all pack pulled autos, all parallels, chases, and inserts, all variants. See list below. I'll show you that in a second. All types of appearances, which is what Matt's doing right now. Crazy person Matt is looking at all the cards and looking at behind characters. So I have a section here, and I'll show you guys this now, where you can see I have an appearance section of cards where Surfer makes an appearance. As insane as that is. And there's Matt.
Right? I don't know if you can see that over the top of his head, but there's Dani Moonstar sitting in a tree over his head.
Matt
So
and Danny sitting in a tree.
yeah, right. So gotta have them all.
And there it is. There's Surfer also sitting in a tree right behind Nova's butt. And there it is. Appearance cards. These are crazy. Now you can get really crazy with appearance cards. Oh God, Hulk. That Hulk set kills me. You can get
Well,
really crazy.
appearance is also a great reason to share that you collect them, right? Because didn't someone just give you a heads up on a surfer you
Yes,
didn't know about?
and I'm publicly going to say it. So Brian Vig, not Brian Vig, I love Brian Vig. Rust, our boy Rust has found so many surfers for me from this Hulk set, and I hate him because he just rubs it in my face. I love him actually, and our buddy Alonzo Lewis Alonzo Collectibles just found another one. I think on Marvelous and Elusive's break of Hulk, and Doom was on there too. And freaking Surfer is not here yet, but a freaking Surfer was there in the most weird card ever. It's a movie scene from Hulk, and there's a Surfer picture off the side in the graphic, and it's just like so painful. But that exists, and now that's going to be in my collection. So there's that. So yes, so that's very all types of appearances. There's also I hate to even say this out loud because this is going to drive everyone crazy, but there's also the dark reality of Tex, uh, Tex surfers. So first appearance of 48 Silver Surfers in there. His name's somewhere. You have the blue tape over it, but yeah, there you go.
Yep.
So
Same goes with
actually, this
checklists.
yeah. So there's Silver Surfer, right there. I know, I know. Don't judge me. Don't judge me so fast, okay? You haven't even seen the worst of it. So, all right, let's go back to here. I know this is crazy stuff. Okay, let's finish this list and then we'll go to comments and then we'll start sharing more stuff. And I'll just leave my camera on cards and Matt and I will just go through our nuttiness. Um, all types of appearances, at least one plate from every set. I think this is a big rule for a master character collector is a plate from every set. I think it's important, and I think it also puts parameters of how many master character collectors there can be. And I'll let you guys mull that over for yourself. You do not have to follow these rules. These are stupid things that I made up just to have a fun video to post, just so you guys know. Not telling anybody how to collect. This is just for fun.
I mean, the
Um,
beauty of this is it's not one size fits all, right? You can pick and choose and go a la carte, and it's whatever works for you and whatever makes you
whatever.
happy at the end of the day.
Have fun
This
with
is
it.
just the most obscene OCD side here.
This is the most. This is just funny to laugh at people who do this. So laugh at me and Matt. Either a sketch card from every set, pack pooled variants. Yeah, this is curing your sketch cards. Having a sketch card from every set gets tricky. You could do APs. You can just do pack pooled. You just go anywhere which you way, but you should have some interesting way of inserting sketch cards into your character collection. At least one original or trading card stuff. That's crazy town. If you do it, you do it. If you're into it, you're not. No big deal. At least one full rainbow of the character. I do like the idea of having one set that you had a full rainbow on. I think I don't put it in here, but I did also have in here at one point of having a full um, plate set of your character, like all four colors. Um, that's a crazy thing to do, but it
Although
is.
a few sets give an opportunity because they had all four, either as an achievement or actually I think it was always as an achievement, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, you had to do the hard work with that one,
Most of this took 4 years to make, basically. Crazy stuff.
which actually isn't long
At
in
all.
the collecting. God, no.
At all. At all. When you really think about it, that's nothing. Maybe five, but it's just not there. Um, Now this is where it gets crazy. Oh, I did put it here. Okay. All stickers. Stickers are tough. They're tricky. I do only official. I don't do customs. I don't do any weird stuff unless I like them. But official stickers is really tough. All oversized cards and stickers, I'll show you a bunch of those in a minute. All TCG, that's a nightmare. All promos, that can be really tough with 90MU. And then sketch sheet, sell sheets, packs, and boxes of the featured character. And I'll show you something now of that. But that's pretty much the list. I'm just going to show you the rest of the notes so you can see how I categorized it. Um, Main cards that feature main characters, secondary appearances, team appearances, minor appearances, outside Marvel card appearances. That does happen. There was the sports cards where they feature some Marvel characters. Text appearances, you have variants, buybacks, miscuts, print, misprints, holograms, and then autos are pack, con, and third party consignment autos. Signature series, con autographs are usually everywhere, and then you have pack inserted stuff, and you also have like dynamic forces, which did a lot of things back in the 90s too. So there you go. So take it all in.
Yeah.
Realize that you all know a crazy person. Matt, what are your thoughts?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, again, it sort of depends on your character. I mean, my first pass for Danny, as an example, in fact, instead of guessing, I can just pull it up because I've got it in a Google sheet. I think I came up with about 200.
How many?
Using 200. And that's oh, actually no, it's less than I thought. Oh wow, it's a lot less than I thought. 137 right now.
It
But
feels like
again,
200.
I'm still finding like I just recently found Danny in the background there, and I'm sure I'll continue to find more. But yeah, it's. I mean, it's interesting and fun, and like you say, there's so many levels that the obsession can go, and I'm like you. I'm kind of going for all of them. Original card art, the errors, the rare ones, anything I can find. Because why not? What do I get to spend it on my kids? Come on.
Same time with my kids. Come on, that's crazy. That's crazy town.
No
Um,
retro. So retro said he's got the full plate set from anime, and so happy about it. He's saying, "I know it's in a hack in a way, but no, it's not actually. I think it's. I would call it a gift from the card gods.
One
Quite
hundred
honestly,
percent.
if you can get it that way, by all means, that's as valid
That's a
as it comes.
blessing. That's a blessing to have
Yep.
the ability to get it all in one go. Trust me, that's awesome because what you guys don't realize, and maybe some of you do and have this experience, like Sharon Ryan and a few others have, people are crazy enough, set collectors, where they did full sets of the plates.
Yep.
We know a guy who did the 2018 full plate set, who sold it off, and 2012 Marvel premiere. Yeah. And that's not the only nut job who did that. And he's a great guy. I'm calling him a nut job because I'm friends with him. But like, that guy, he went to town, right? Someone did it with retro. There's certain plates I can't find with 2013 retro because I know for a fact someone did a plate set. They already came close to a plate set because there's certain things you just can't find. You know what I mean? So I know for a fact that happened. Um, so that exists. So we have that. So let's get into some of the comments here, and I've passed people already, so I'm sorry. Um, right, 100%, gents. What's up? Sage advice. We read it. Hey boys, I missed this. We missed you too, buddy. I take Noran's advice to tell it right. Okay, I think the biggest thing with bigger collectors, you just need to be smarter. For me, that's not a reason to collect everything. Period. I agree. 100%, William. Yeah, 100%. I think you can enjoy character collecting a big character, but you have to think about it in an interesting way. Ah, I'm glad. Yeah, I have better interactions with people when I'm collecting a character. I think I think when I talk to other collectors, in my experience, I'm treated more with open arms because they understand there's not like an inherent competition. And I do enjoy that when I talk to other character collectors.
Sorry if you
That's,
can
that's
hear that in
true.
the background.
Oh, please don't worry about it. Serious present. Yeah, there should be white walls around us for sure.
You know,
Even when all
shame.
who's Even when I was 5 years old, I have accepted the fact that I won't be able to own everything. However, what do I do? Own my only rule that I love looking at. That's it. That's the rule, baby. If you love
And
looking
that
at
is
it,
that's the dark side of collecting nowadays. Like, even though it's an MCU set, let's use Allure for an example. What are there, like 15 variants of
yeah,
every card, and two more ones that are unique to blaster boxes? Like, they're beautiful, but it's crazy town if you're trying to collect even a single character.
it's too much. It's just too much. It's honestly too much. Like for me, the Surfer collection is going to stop at 2014, and I'm still going to collect Surfer cards, but not in the manic, crazy way that I've been doing. You know what I mean? It's just going to be healthier. I always say I won't ever buy an X23 MM20 because it isn't for me. I have other MM20 cards I won't sell because they're amazing. Yeah, and that you just have to make those compromises. We talk about the full plate. Hey, Dave, what's up, buddy? Um, you know what I mean? I'm not a character collector, but an artist collector. I guess Todd is kind of a character. I like that. I think
Yep.
that's a good idea. There are people who collect, and Matt knows this better than I do, so I'll let him talk about it. Major people out there who only collect one artist. Like we have a few friends who do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've seen it on the sketch side for sure, and I could see doing it on the base card art set as well, which unfortunately I think is tougher these days than it was in the 90s because very few sets put the artist information on the back, right?
It is. I appreciate those guys, and I always forget his name because I'm a terrible person. But there's two people who do in the MCCW group, which is just so wonderful that they do this. Is that they figure out where the art originated from on the
The feature
combo.
card, yeah.
And I always value that because it's just a crazy amount of research. And like Letty is a god, Saint Jack is a god at that. You know what I mean? You're brilliant at finding this out really quickly. You know what I mean? Like fast being able to recognize the artist style in something. I think that will become second nature for Marvel card collectors. So I think Marvel card collectors at their core are art collectors, always have been. You know what I mean? I'm not a character perfect. I think the cool thing about collecting a certain character, you learn new sets, which I think is one of the coolest things of the hobby. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've gotten to have a lot of experience with a lot of different sets because my character has appeared in quite a few of them. So I get to experience the set without necessarily having to obsess over the set, which I really, really appreciate as an aspect of character collecting. Yeah, see, there's Greg. 85, 90% done. And it is what you know exists. That's a huge one as well. Okay, so we have, yeah, Spidey, what's up, buddy? I'm so glad you're here, man. Awesome. So here's something I'll share on the screen. so you can see
The
some of.
backs.
So this gets pretty fun, um, and I'll go ahead and do you see that the right way around? Like, is it flipped or you see it okay?
Oh yeah, no, it's right. It's the right way.
It's the right way. Okay, for me it's flipped. Oops, storm coming. All right, can you guys see that okay?
Perfect.
All right, let's go down the road. You bastard. I love it. He's right. He's not wrong. All right, so I always do 2 packs. You're supposed to do 4 from my binder buddies, but I always do 2. I don't know why, but I do 2. This is just a 4 pocket Ultra Pro sheet, and this is hard cardboard white paper, like printing paper, but just tougher. That's cut up into 4 sections to keep the pack flat because the cards sit on each other unevenly when you put them in a binder. Okay, and this type of binder is something for photographs, and it's like creates a complete dark room when it's encased because it's all sealed up. So it's an archival safe thing. Okay, there are packs, and I don't have it in this binder, it's in my other thing. There are packs that came before the set called promo packs, cello packs, CELLO, and they're important to certain sets. So here's that for that. And then those 2 Marvel Masterpieces. I actually just bought a PSA 9 slab of this pack, actually, which I'll show you on camera, which was pretty fun. I got
And
it
the
for a gift.
cello ones were typically giveaways, right? Either with a magazine or at a show.
Not necessarily at a show. It wouldn't be a magazine, and I'm going to show you magazines and how those cards come in the magazines. So you have packs here, flattened packs. I like flattening the packs because you can enjoy the image. That's Jim Lee. That's Julie Bell. This is a very cool thing to do. And then you can see that there. I still need steel packs of this, but they're not hard to find. And I have a sealed box. Cell sheet for Surfer. Stupid hard to find. And there you go. Sorry, Matt. And there you go, Fantastic Four cell sheet, and all the different
Sorry,
various
that
cell
card's where
sheet.
it should be, man.
Nah, you're very kind. I still am so grateful to you, bro. You have no idea. Um, no idea. All right,
And
cell
this
sheet
makes
for
me happy. I picked Dani Moonstar, and I don't. She doesn't show up on all these things, man. Wow.
yeah. You're very lucky. These were very hard to find. They've happened. I've come across them over the years. Um, these are in magazines. So if you're a Marvel Masterpiece guy, these came in comic books. Greg and Hildebrandt signed. These are master prints. They used to do these in the 90s. They don't do these anymore. If you see doubles over here, it's because they are doubles. And I'm trying to make sure I have a nice clean copy. Yes, your boy that's sick, signed by Boris. And then it goes from those to
The promo
the
thing.
uncut things. These are inserted in magazines. Do I also have the magazines? Yes, because your boy needs help. So I'll show you those magazines, but they did come loose as well. It's just depending how you found them. But they did not come cut. If you see this cut, some idiot cut it and it has a diamond on the back. That is not how they were issued. Just so people know. There's the other one. There he is. And this came in a 2 as well. These were numbered 6 out of 30,000. It's a pretty low number. I've had 4 of these, but I've never seen a low number like that. Um, they'd come in different styles, different ways they were inserted in magazines, laying out differently. Really cool to see. Perforated, came out of a magazine, staples right there. Pretty fun. 9 sheet inserted in a magazine. There were 2 versions of this, one with the black outline, one without.
So you didn't keep the staples in a little bag?
That's in a separate box. They came stapleless, okay, Matt? Don't judge me. It ages the paper. This is
Oh,
really cool. Oversized cards from Overpower. If you don't know about these, they're really awesome. I think someone's selling a few right now if you want to check them out. They're really fun. Target gift card thing. Yes, gift cards are a thing. I'll show you those. This is a poster. There's one picture of Surfer, so I had to get the full poster. This is a comic book, Silver Surfer comic book, direct edition. I have the 9.8, but on the CGC slab it says trading card inserted because you can get a trading card from this issue. Not of Surfer, but I thought it was kind of cool to finish off the binder. So There
And is the
is,
trading card still in it?
huh?
Is the trading card still in it?
No, because it was a gift. So I just have, I was like, you know what? I think I'm okay with just the 9.8 that says trading card, and I'm good. Okay, so there we go.
So,
So
so circling back to Norn's point earlier, remember that first line? These are the people you want to stay away from.
it
My
gets kind of
lord,
crazy. Let's see where everyone is. Yeah, I agree. Yep, there's Spidey. Right. Yeah,
the cello.
Cello. Cello's pretty crazy. This is completely devil clerical acting. Yeah, so I'm not showing this to glow. I'm showing you guys this so you can see. Ooh, cool. Some light. What you can see. This is a standing from 1992. This is the promo card from 92 and the magazine it's included in, which is a price guide. Right before the boom, as the boom started happening, I went out and bought all of these that were sitting there for 20. So I have like 3 of them, but they were all sitting there for $20 and I was like, "You know what? These are too pretty to just have sit out there." But here's the advanced cards sealed thing. There's the promo from 92. And then here's the previews magazine that has the 90 MU in there. And then this is one that has the prism attachment to the promo card. And this is really fun to see. And it has that prism thing there, which is super cool. And when I was a kid, my mom found me this card, and the shop owner charged her like $20 back in the day because he said it was unreleased one of one card. The horse bastard. But
Wow.
my sister, who has autism, who I love very much, bended the foil back because she thought she was helping me with the card when I was a kid. So I can't blame her. She was right. That's what they should have done. So I'm not mad at her. But they came in this preview magazine. It's really beautiful because you see the color card there. I got to show this to Forrest Moon. He's going to be pissed I didn't show him, but I sold him something else that I gave him as a gift, something else. So he should be okay.
That magazine, as a kid and a comic fan, was just the highlight of some weeks.
Oh,
Just
it was the
seeing what
best.
was coming. Oh my god.
It was the best. It was the best. It was the coolest thing. The coolest thing. Okay, so now you guys saw that craziness. So that's the level, and then we'll go through some of these cards together, and let's talk about you, Matt, because you've been sitting there, and I've ignored you because I wanted to show. I just wanted to show a side to character collecting that maybe people hadn't seen, and I have the boxes. They're just somewhere else, but I wanted people to see the sell sheets, the promos. You know what I mean? Just to give them an idea of stuff that wasn't in that list. Um, let's go ahead and put it back on the screen. Remove this. Make sure we're good on comments. Straight jacket surfers out. I don't know what to say because it's also inspired speechless. Thank you. Sometimes it stinks because I collect Blade. Ooh, good job, William. That was one of my first VHS open. He just doesn't have a lot of cards. But see, and we're going to get to this in the video. It's about an hour in now. I won't keep Matt for another like 20 minutes if that's okay, Matt, because you have to go at 6:30, right?
Around then, yeah, around then.
Okay.
No rules.
So I think it's you don't have a lot of Blade card, William, and before he starts getting popular, my advice is start looking for, and I'm not endorsing grading because I work at CGC. I understand what this sounds like. If there's not a lot of cards of your character, start looking for them in tens if you can find them cheap, because people are sleeping on those, and I would take the journey. You know what I mean, man? Just to find, I don't know. If you don't like grading, I ignore that comment. You know what I mean? This is just me saying what I've done. Um, Thank you so much. No, I appreciate it, brother. Um, yeah, I hit the like button. Have you? Thank you, buddy. All right, Matt,
The,
please
the
talk to me.
grading is a
So
good segue, right?
please.
So I don't think it's required, but it is the path I'm going to be going down. And right now I've only got a few that I actually bought graded. Most of mine will be graded soon. But if I was able to find some of these older ones like mint nines from back in 1987, I don't
Wow.
think I'm going to be able to find a raw that's going to do better than that. So I just sort of grabbed these when I could. And these are the comic images ones. You've got the actual sticker from the same period. And again, these are about as old as my character gets, so I was able to knock off some of the earliest ones like that.
So smart.
And
So
then
smart.
other than that, there's very few I have graded. One of the most recent ones I just picked up. You want to again talk about the obscure? So that is Danny right under
You need a
her.
pointer. You need a
Yeah,
pointer. I love it.
but I mean, like you say, or if she's not here, but for example, if the word was on the back, you got to do it.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got. I mean, if you're going down that road, then that's the road you take. You know what I mean? And it's a big one. I love seeing that because it was. I think Letty helped me out with finding a small surfer like that. I have to figure out where it is. But oh, you have cuts like that. Those are
Yep.
beautiful.
So that was part of what we talked about with the cuts. I was
Wow.
fortunate to get these from Marvel 80th, but I know there were some in 2018 for their Ultra X-Men that
Wow.
will be a challenge to get. But I think it's fun when you can get the comic cuts that show the character.
Yeah,
Um,
but that one on the left, I mean, I love seeing full on text bubbles with a character. I love that.
yeah,
But that one on the
absolutely.
left, oof, that was a great
Um,
look.
because I'm grading, I'm trying to find good options. So for some, I'm taking the gamble and buying two raw, and I'll probably grade them both and keep the one that gets the higher. Wow, that is really dark, isn't it? This is the Lucky H Jade. There we go.
Wow.
You can sort of see it there. So grab two copies for the grading purposes. Um, Managed to find another one of the stickers, but this one's raw, so I'll have to try my
Good
hand at getting
find.
that one graded.
Wow.
This is the one that the variants are going to be my white whale. So this is the X Cut series from Clear Ultra X Men. This is aside from the base. This is the highest number one. I believe there's a yellow, which is 50 maybe, a blue, and then the black, which is out of 5. So yeah, good luck on those. Um,
You should hit up Miles. Miles had this, and he did pretty well. So he might have gotten some contacts for that one.
gotcha.
Yeah.
This one brought up a very interesting challenge as well because there's an autographed version.
Yep.
Those are definitely hard to track down. One of my favorites from 2019, the color box. I just have to
Wow.
find a holder to put that in to ship in for grading.
That's beautiful, Matt.
And then, like you said, if you're really crazy, you can find an error card, right? So this is the oh my
Wow.
God, the Palladium, but it doesn't have any of the wording on it. It's just her image.
It's so good. It's a transparency card on top of, and it's not a die cut, right? Those weren't die
Nope,
cut. But
nope.
that's
Yeah,
so
here,
sick.
wait. It'd be better if I do
There you
that.
go.
There we
Look
go.
how cool that is, man. That's an error card, dude. How
Yeah.
awesome is that?
So that adds another layer of fun for
So
sure.
jealous.
You can find
That's so
something like
sick.
that. And then like I said, others are like that Warpath where she's in the background. It's
Mm,
trying to find a card like this where there's so many. Actually, so many. We're just talking about Allure. You've got the base one, so okay, I'm going to try to figure out what's the best quality one of that.
yeah.
Okay, I've got like 4 under there. So again, break out the
Wow.
magnifying glass, and then I got
Wow.
lucky and was able to get one of the plates. So check that one off
That
the
is
box.
so freaking cool.
And this brings up an interesting question, and you and I have talked about it offline. But when it's the one of one, something like this, do you grade it?
I don't grade it. I don't grade it. So I'll show you. We're gonna have our stuff side by side.
Yep.
Um, so we can both.
Trying to find some other ones here. Sorry. Oh yeah. Norton, I don't know if you're talking, but if you are, you're on mute.
I was talking. This is terrible. So
Okay.
I don't think I can take off my ugly mug. So let's go ahead and do this way, and I'll just show you the cards in the small screen. But
No, show
this is
yours. Zoom yours in. You've got a bunch to show. People have already seen that.
okay. So this is just printing plates. I don't grade printing plates. I don't grade one of ones. I don't grade sketch cards either, because for me, and this is how I have my um, case organized. And you guys can see a little bit behind the scenes stuff. I've shown this here and there, but I try to keep it quiet. But let's have some fun. Again, you do not have to collect like me, anybody. This is just me having fun. It's my channel, and this is all I have at my disposal to share and comment on. So there it is. This is what I did. I have these two things next to me. I have then all the cards that ever come out with Surfer, and then I have my Pelican case. And my Pelican case is literally every Surfer in a 9.5 or up, base card, chase card, no repeats, which says that here. And basically, it's just every base card of Surfer. So every different type of art, not teams, not appearances, graded in a high grade from 1976 all the way to recent. It's stopping at 2014, but I have the recent ones as well. And then here, located in here, which is what I did, is sketches and cards that are lower than 10 or one of ones or on card autos. So Marvel Begins, this is Gabriel Delato. Sorry, Matt Datillo would be so mad at me for saying it wrong. And this is actually pack pulled, which is crazy to see. But it's a pack pulled. And there's Surfer from Annihilation, which was a great little series. And there's the COA. This I don't want to get graded because I don't care what grade it gets because it's too stupid of a rare card to find, you know?
Makes sense. Yeah, I think for me, it'll be interesting once I get a bunch of them graded back to sort of see, all right, do I want them all to have that sort of same look? I think that's in my head the reason I might consider that, not for the grade per se, but for the consistency in the presentation of them.
I like that. I have a mix of CGC PSA because, and truthfully, and I'm going to be honest, some of my PSAs are pop one, none higher. I don't want to risk losing that just in case. Um, and that's just true, and that's what I have. I would have some BGSs and CGCs. It's not that I don't like them. It's just I just happen to have. Just the way I was able to grab so many of these. It just happened to be PSA and CGC because of the timeline. Otherwise,
Yep.
I would have a little mixture of everything.
Yeah, and you made a good point because I was contemplating sending these in and just having them transferred into CGC for consistency. But you had mentioned check the population reports first because
Always.
if it is super rare, maybe you know what I can just live with the different cases for sure.
And it's possible too to do it down the line for whatever company you're into. I'm not pushing any company on anybody. I like CGC personally, but whatever you decide to do is what you decide to do. But if it's a BGS, pop none higher, pop one, I really would think twice before grading it because you wouldn't want to lose on that. This is going to be a horrible word to use, but that status and that pedigree of that card. You know what I mean? There's something significant about that. I like the uniformity too. I eventually, I'm sure I'll go to CGC on all of them, but like certain things are just, you know what I mean? Like it's still a pop one,
Right.
and it won't be forever, not at all. You know what I mean? But I can't, in good conscience, you know what I mean? I can't split that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, for
But
sure.
yeah, I'm glad you looked that up, Matt. I remember telling you that. I'm happy you did that.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I think my goal would be obviously I'd love to have anyone that I have graded be a 9 or above, but certainly to be a 10. But that's more just the icing on the cake than a
Look, I'll
requirement.
show you something. I'll show you something so everyone doesn't go crazy. There are certain cards that will never get above a 9.5 or a 9. It's just a fact. Look, What year is it? It's 97, right? 97. Did I put you back here like a crazy person? I'll find it.
And
Perfect
then what?
example. Let's do this instead so we're not dead air. Does someone have something to say? I haven't looked at it. Okay, so here's something. This card is so stupid. I can't find anything better than an 8-5 of this card. I've tried 5 cards of this now, and I've given up. So when someone pulls it out and figures a way to get a 9 on this card, I'm happy to do it. These cards came with horrible edgeware, and they are really horribly have surface damage on them because of the type of technology they use. You see all that kind of like different foiling and stuff like that. It's just not possible. So I've had 20 or 30 of these in my possession now. So if you need one, I can just send one to anybody who's looking for one.
Yeah,
For
you
set.
would just doing the math on them. It looks like you would need to get either surface or edges up to a 9. That would, I think, that would average you a 9.3, which I assume they would round up to a 9.5.
Yep. So it's just going to be what it is, right? One of the cards that I never thought I'd get a 10 in, I eventually did, and it's a pop 2. I didn't think that was possible. You know what I mean? I just didn't think that would happen that way. There are just certain cards you're not going to find in high grade pass a 9. Some even pass an 8.5. I would be very careful when you're on eBay seeing certain cards that are going for like $20, $30 at a 9. I would really look up pop reports across all the companies because I did that. I have an extra of surfers now because it's just like you have to double check. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you might be looking at an 8 and thinking it's an 8. I don't want to touch it. You might be dead wrong. That card in an 8 might be a freaking miracle for
Right.
real.
There's only one 9 out there.
Like,
By the way, so we talked about this being a sickness. So, Norin, I have no one to blame but you for this.
you did it. You
All I have to
Pelican
say,
case
sum it
man.
all up like this.
I am so sorry. It's hella addicting to have a Pelican case. It's bad. It's bad to have this. I've gone through like 5 different evolutions of this case now. You can see it on my Instagram, and this is my favorite edition so far.
Spidey just asked what year was that surfer you had out? The 8.5.
Either 2011 or 2012 Marvel Beginnings. That's a toughie. I can't find it. I can't find it. Let me make sure. Oh,
So,
comic clippings are so important. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
we could talk about comic clippings. They're absolutely key. Actually, you must have some, right?
So here's a killer thing. I keep it in a very special space. um, I don't know if this is true, but I was told this on Blowout by a lot of people, and I think a lot of people on after Blowout on Facebook mentioned the same thing. Surfer was banned after 2013. So, yes, he's in 2016 because Joe Jusko drawed Surfer in 2013 and got it to Marvel before the set could come out. So, and comic clippings came out for Surfer after that. And they've never done a Fantastic Four, but they did Thor 226. And Thor 226 features Galactus, which you gave me, and you have one of those cards. It's BA 17.
Yep.
There's only 30 cards from BA 17, or 35, I forget. And this, I think, is the only known comic cut featuring Silver Surfer. I doubt that's true. I've never found another one. They were not supposed to have any FF properties. That wasn't supposed to be in the cuts. So this is the only one I've ever found out of the like 15 plus years I've been looking. Well, I've been looking seriously for like 12 years, but I've never seen one. You know, and this insert is BA17. If anyone has one, I'd love to have it, but I don't want to be, super greedy, but I'd buy it because I'm a huge fan. I doubt this is a one of one. I'm telling you right now, there's another surfer collector out there who I don't know, who is just a secret kind of person, AOL email kind of guy. And the surfers he has are the things I'm missing that Jordan are missing or whoever else our buddies are who collect surfer. That's it. And the when I bought this on eBay, which was over 5 years ago, whenever it was, Matt, you remember better than I do probably. There were over 30, 40 bids. It was a stupid fight. I paid a lot of money for this back in the day. You want to guess how much I paid for this stupid card? Which I love.
This was back in the day. I'd guess what, 400?
That's exactly what I did.
Oh,
No joke. I couldn't everyone was bidding on it, fighting over it. And I knew it was beautiful because I love the cinematic kind of flashback and surfers. Like it's my top 5, one of my favorite cards in my collection. Fire, I get this one first or second. Or no, third. Probably get this one third.
I mean, I love sketches, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to character collecting, to me, cuts and plates are the bee's knees.
That's it for me too. 100%. That's my bread and butter. If I can find a plate of my character, I love it. If I can find a comic clipping, I go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I told you I had someone in group before I announced this. I was talking about it on Spidey's Discord actually, and someone hooked me up with. They had been putting together a collection of Danny plates, so I picked up a set of 9 plates all in one go.
I wish. I've had to fight for every plate I've ever owned. For every plate I've ever found, I've had to fight for it. Actually, I found a guy who did a master printing plate set for Marvel Beginnings. Put that in perspective. And I'll share my email, the email I have for him with you. I don't know if you have any Danny Moonstar in there, but maybe he's still around. But I had to pay. I'm going to say the price so people can understand the stupidity. If you guys have this stuff and you post it for like $2 billion on eBay, I won't buy it because I am a vindictive mf'er. Okay, and I will hold a grudge and I will never touch it. And anybody can have it, and I will never care. I promise you that. But I will say this: that I had to pay for each one, and rightfully so, because they were part of his set. You know what I mean? He did me a favor removing them. And that's the thing about being a character collector. I will say good etiquette on character collectors is super important. If you have good ethical stuff when you're a character collector, people will go out of their way to help you out. And you know what I mean? I would also really make friends with other character collectors because if you do come across a complete set of something that are one of ones like printing plates and you want one in there, but you need to buy the whole set to do it, hit us all up and we'll all go in on it. You know what I mean? And buy the sucker and split up the plates. Seriously, that's a really good rule of thumb to check that out.
There was a comment in chat from William Johnson. Be a good one to throw up.
Please, let's do that. Oh wow, we have a lot of comments. I'm so sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
right. Because this applies to you. Maybe not burned out, but when you were looking for a break, you did a little pivot.
Yeah, best time to look at other characters. And so it's funny. I had a conversation with someone who I like a lot actually, who's a nice person, and they were like, with all this stuff you know about, and I don't know tons of stuff, but I know some things, not everything. And they were like, just pick a character and like who do you like betting on a horse type of thing. And they were trying to like what character, you know what I mean? What do you bet on? You know what I mean? How do you like maximize investment and stuff like that? And they're not a bad person. They're just thinking about it differently. And for me, and Matt will attest to this, is why I'm bringing it up because it's sad. It's more sad. It's sad and true. You don't do this for profit. You're never going to sell a full collection for your character ever. I'm telling you right now, they're going to cherry pick and you're going to be holding 80% of the collection. It's just not the way to do it.
Yeah.
And
I can
then,
see that.
God forbid, you know, and then, and I'm not a crazy religious person or anything like that, but, I always feel bad when I see character collectors who pass on and you see a lot of their cards come up on market. You know what I mean? It breaks my heart. That's really sad. I always try to buy one. I bought a blob from our buddy Ron. You know what I mean? Um, and Rodney, and like, it's always sad when it happens. But character collecting, from my experience, is very much a passion thing. You know what I mean? It's not. you mean sets, like you master collect a set, you see them on eBay every once in a while. It's not like people are going to dump that much money in a full set because other people have been collecting it too. It's very rare. You know what I mean? So do remember, this is not, if you're thinking on the investment side of betting or gambling on this, I don't it's not worth your while. It's not the way to approach it. And I'm not saying that to prevent you from collecting. I'm saying that to protect you from thinking about this maybe in a way where you think there's going to be a huge payout because there won't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially for some of the rare ones, you do tend to overpay sometimes. And
Majorly.
I'll give you an example of that. But it was also just an opportunity I couldn't pass up. Right in doing this list over the last week, and Norrin, you've already seen this. Um, I'm going through each one, and then I'm also checking on ComC and checking on eBay, saying, "Oh, well, I
Mm.
don't have these." So for the cheap ones, I'm getting like 7 or 8, if I can get them for a buck or under, just so I can pick a good one to get graded. Um, and then when I found the sort of weird ones where like they're in the background, I looked for those, and I came across one almost by chance. In fact, just because I happen to have the base card here, which is from Just Go's 2016. It turns out that in the What If specifically for Magic, they did it like a New Mutants cover, and Danny is in the corner box. So there's actually two New Mutants ones they did. The one that's Cable, she's in the corner box, but his gun is completely covering the corner box except for Warlock, so I don't have to collect it, which is awesome. It's weird to say, um, but this one happened to be sitting there. So let me see if I go to present and share
Oh
screen.
my gosh. Okay, I just have to put this out here. I love this guy.
Oh, there we go.
Donald,
You want to talk about the god of character collecting? Here we
you're
go.
coming on the channel by the way when you're not busy. I know you've been incredibly busy, Don, but please, Donald, please come on the channel. I want to do something with you as well. You are He has an amazing website. Please put your website in the comment, Donald, when you get a chance so people can go there. It's such a great resource. This is a major character collector. Um, Lovely
This is
man.
the character collector.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest character collector.
So
We
I
have some
think
amazing people here.
you have to admit my share in the channel,
Yes, absolutely. Sorry. Oh,
right?
that's
I
so
mean,
cool.
the black plate. I mean,
That looks
how
so
can I say no?
stupid good.
What are the odds that I was going to find one of those plates just happened to be sitting there?
No, stupid, stupid
Not
lucky.
Spidey, bite your tongue. He's saying, I know she's under the gun, so I'll buy it anyways. Could you imagine? Like, you can't see her, but she should be there.
She should
No.
be there. No, that's insane. Like I remember I had that kind of craziness with the Mephisto from MM16, which I showed you guys before. And someone was like, "Well, you got to do the full rainbow of him now." And I'm like, "No, I don't." No, I don't actually. I don't have to do anything. And that's how I've done it is I just have the representation of the character in the collection from a card, which I did of the base, which I got lucky because of our buddy Spidey. I was about to call you by your old name. By Justin's buddy Brian. God, I hope I'm saying that right. He was so great. I met him in Atlanta, and we did a trade, and I was able to get the Mysterio that way. Um, yeah, I only do one example of appearance stuff. I don't do the whole rainbow or any of that nuts stuff, but that's such a pretty card that having that plate there is such a good idea. Such a great card. Wow.
Comment for you from Marvel Madness. You want to pull up?
Oh, Marvel Madness, what up? I have a video coming soon. I hope you involve Sketch Card Hive. He is down going over base cards. Some of the great ones out there. Showing love base. Hey, what's up, buddy? Definitely, we'll have to figure something. I have to have you on here with your Wolverine collection too. And then we had at a Silver Surfer. Where would you like? I love Dave. And then good. We got that comment. I'm just going down. Here we go. Wow, that's sick. Wow, he's going to be in the cell right next to Matt and me, so that's perfect. And then here we go with our intervention banner. So
Right.
Joshua's, I'm proud of you, Joshua. We were the first one to stand up. This is a great moment.
Love the ending. I enjoy the hairy fella.
I enjoy the hairy small guy. I love it. So beautiful, so wonderful. Matt, other
And I've
questions, other
shown
things you want to do? Let's just talk.
No,
We'll start wrap. We'll start landing this plane, and there's going to be more of these videos. And I'm probably going to try to talk Matt into co-hosting with me this video series because I don't know. I just thought of it. But
I'll
tell me,
share
Matt.
my one flex, right? Because we were talking
Oh,
about
you dirty dog! You're really going to do that?
card art. So
Wait. Okay.
so I was fortunate enough to pick up this bad boy. So I got my Danny, got my original card art. I am good.
I am so mad at you. God, that looks good in the frame, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, it came out great.
Wow. See, he belongs in there too. He belongs in the white room.
Nice. Oh yeah, you should definitely share those notes for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna write them out a little bit more. I'll share them with you. You know, they're rough, so apologize the writing or whatever. Everyone's like freaking out about your artwork. It looks so good. Um, Trying to think. There was one thing I wanted to leave you guys off, and I thought this would be helpful to you, Matt. Stickers. Oh, that's what I wanted to share. Um, all right, here we go.
Oh boy, color coded.
All right, so don't look at the Jordan has it part.
You're not a stalker.
I
You're a
am a
collector.
stalker. I just hit it because I don't want Jordan to know. My surfer collector buddy, who I want his stuff. Um, so you see the red, you see the check mark. This is I still have to organize all of this, um, but this is it. And then up top, you can see stats, which I haven't figured out how to do it yet because I'm not great at Excel. Sketch cards, all the prices I paid for them. Game TCG, I'm still fixing that. Stickers, foreign, I have to do all those things and list them. A lot of them don't have titles, so that's a crazy hassle that I have to deal with. A lot of things in here I don't want you to see, um, but I'm sharing them with you so you can see what this looks like. And there you go. And then
Yeah,
that's
the
just the
next
list.
time I need to do is the foreign.
The foreign's crazy. The
But
foreign's
I
crazy.
honestly, I don't think there's going to be a lot. The foreign tend to be the really big characters, and as much as I love the New Mutants, they've never really hit that tier of popularity. So unless it's like the Secret Wars 2 cover or something big where she might have been in, I think I'm going to dodge that bullet.
I think you're going to get extremely lucky on foreign. I have not been lucky because there were sticker series and there's game cards. Those are important too, by the way. So game cards are pretty crazy. I think this is
Yeah.
the earliest example of a foreign card for Surfer.
Yeah. Even on game, I was able to pick up the New Mutants Legendary box for like $10, so I got five
There you
cards
go.
out.
Game
I
is the
found
way to go. And game is this is all from Doom, who I love so much, and I appreciate you, Jesus, for hooking me up. These are very rare foreign Marvel Masterpiece cards. This is crazy town stuff that our very good friend, who I won't out, helped me find. Um, just very nice of him to do that, obviously, because otherwise I never would have found it on my own. Pepsi cards, those old foreign Pepsi cards from Flair, they're really tricky. Here's something crazy. A lot of people don't know. I didn't know. Hopefully, none of these are fake. Here's the hologram, all in various conditions. Now, here's how it gets crazy. They all different in variation. Hold on. Yeah, there
Yeah,
we go.
the more I see of yours, the more I'm happy I picked a B or C tier character.
You did the right thing. Let's just say you did the right thing, my friend. You did the right thing. So you have those variations. There's a bunch of foreign cards. This was crazy. If you're doing Panini, and I think most of you guys know this, but just in case, there's an Italian and a Brazil. There's an Italy and a Brazil. The Brazil is the easier one to get high grade in.
Now, are the characters and the numbers the same, and they're just
They should be. I think it's just a change in copyright.
okay?
So that is something to keep your eyes open on.
You
Um,
said Italian and Brazil, right?
Italian, Brazil. A lot of the foreign cards are going to get tricky. I actually just stumbled onto Versus System has foreign cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just found
Oh,
the
'cause I
German
only have
Silver Surfer. I'm gonna look
I
for
have
you on
one.
Danny Moon. Okay.
I've got the regular verses. I found
Okay. Good.
one.
Good.
But if there are foreign ones, that'll be interesting. Let me
That would
check
be
this.
interesting, and they do
And then
exist.
one thing I hadn't noticed. So this is her on the front, but the back for some reason has a bunch of Hulk characters. So it makes me wonder if there might be other characters on the back of other cards that maybe I need to look for. See if she's got it. Like, oh no.
I think so, which is insane, but it's very real. And then Versus System is really great.
So that's
There's
interesting
usually
of Panini. So that this so you're saying this one
that's
I
it.
have probably has a version and
Yeah.
then
What
the
does the copyright say on the bottom?
2020.
But what country?
Oh, Panini Group. Oh, these were made in Italy. What do you know?
Good. I think that's the harder one to find.
Okay.
So Brazil's the one you're looking for now.
Well, what do you know? Today I learned.
Today I learned toy products. Those are awesome. Things that come with toys or other promotional products.
Turpa just noticed my shirt. Yes, Vert de Furk.
Vert de Furk. I love it. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that's Humpty Z. Any parodies? Any garbage bill surfers?
Yes, sir. You know it. You want to see them? All right. I'll show you my parody card collection.
He's got a parody section. I love it.
Yeah, I do. It took a while to figure out the sections. Comic book ads, that's the one you really should look at. These are cards that were given with comic books that showed the coming comic books.
Like, there's a depth to your collection that I'm never even going to approach just because of the character. That's
You'll
crazy.
get there. You'll get there. Here's all
No,
my
they just
parody
don't
ones.
exist. Oh my god, look at that.
Here's all the parody ones. Those two are found. These two are found. I got a plate. Stupid. I can't believe I found a plate. These were so stupid hard to find for plates. The original art was on eBay. I couldn't buy it because it's still a naked silver baby. I'm not going to hang that on my wall. This one was really cool. I had no idea that existed. This one I had
Stupid
no idea.
Americans.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
hilarious.
god,
Stupid heroes.
so good.
Yeah.
Silver Server. Oh my.
This one was tough to find. I couldn't believe that existed. So surfer, typing surfer in eBay was good helpful. This one was tough to find. Little vampire on surfer's back. This one is from Mallrats. My boy Brian and Ryan helped me with that one. I had no idea there was a Mallrats set, and because it's about comic books, the movie, there's a surfer. This took me a while to find.
Because at first glance, yeah, you might just think, oh, it's just a random guy, but you're right. Choosing to make him silver sort of gives it away.
Yeah, yeah, and they talk about it in the movie too, and Big Jerk. Yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. Movie or animated stuff. Gift cards. This is a really pretty card. Lenticular Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool? Really cool. I found that one. I really love that. People do pogs and stickers. Pogs are very much beloved by old school character card collectors. I actually bought a Silver Surfer character collection that somebody was making, and they had the pogs, which really helped me out. And then people helped me find slammers and stuff. So that exists, and it's really cool. I have all my childhood ones, my childhood cards that were in the best shape in their own little package. Um, yeah,
Jake made
packs.
a
That's a
comment.
promo pack. Oh, we have comment. What? Sorry, tell me.
It could be its own discussion too.
Yeah,
Maybe we
sorry.
have a
We're not going to go on forever. We're going to start wrapping this up. I can do this forever. Yeah, the artwork is amazing and versus stuff.
I hope the AI art never comes, but
It's going to happen, but I'm not going to. I don't know if I'd go down that road. The new
I
set's
hope
coming out.
artists as a group push back and kill it because it is
Yeah.
just a ripoff.
It's very. I don't agree with it at all. Just not a fan of it.
I've seen some beautiful, beautiful stuff. Like I know Keith has made some I think it was him, some unbelievable images. But again, it's just pulling other things and combining them. So yeah, I prefer my artists to have, you know, blood and tears. It sounded horrible.
No,
To be human,
just
that's what I mean. To be
a
human,
lifeline, spirit. You know what I mean?
cry.
I want to see them tortured. Pogs are tough. Thank you, Greg, for sure. Do you know the names of collectors who are at top of each collector of each character? We have a list on MCCW that Matt was talking about. So it does exist. I think a lot of people think to keep themselves quiet, but in terms of considering who's top and all that stuff, I don't know if there's ever going to be a way to figure that out. Um, I just
Yeah,
don't
I
think
mean,
there is.
this is an interesting social experiment for me because I've been poking at this quietly, and then we were talking about this, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to throw it out there. Worst case, some prices go up, and I have to pay more, but in the best case, doors open, even if it costs money. I think I think the benefits outweigh the risks to disclosing and sharing what you're collecting with people. So
It's I've never shown so much. I've just started showing a lot more. I do think it opens up doors. You know what I mean? And you and I are so far in this hole already that to not talk about it means that we'll be searching in the dark forever. This is kind of in a strange way like turning on a lamp. You know what I mean? And I don't know. This is going to bring competition, but it should be fun and hopefully a lot of people into it. Here's Combo Man. One section of Combo Man is Silver Surfer and it says it on the back.
yep, Jake just made a post, so I'm going to go grab something.
Oh, go grab it.
So, and
Valentine's
this,
Day cards.
this is a great comment, and this sort of ties into, and I hope everybody watches and participates in MentalCon later this
Yes.
month when they do it. But Jake made a great post about this was something he was considering. He sort of had the first pass at this, and he decided not to. And his quote right here is great. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing it. Um, just to let people know that it's okay not to have everything, which is absolutely true. Which
Yeah,
is
where is that? I want to make sure I put that up. Oh,
I know that was in a PM to me.
okay, good.
He said he didn't want to interrupt the stream, but right. So
I can't believe you have that.
yeah, I mean it's really nice. But like you said, there are. I was fortunate enough that I had the opportunity and the funds available to do this. But if I didn't, like you said, you can't have everything. And the hardest part sometimes, and he's exactly right, is being able to say, I can't have it, and that's okay, right? Because we'll never be able to again have everything we want. There's just so much out there, just in the comic world, and you know, new art coming out every year, multiple times a year. So yeah, no, absolutely great point. Thank you for bringing that up, Jake.
Thank you, Jake. We really appreciate that, and I agree with you completely. There are a lot of things I don't have. This became a lot more fun for me when I became okay with not having everything, and that's just a fact. At first, I got so close that I could, you know what I mean. I was getting so close to like having a lot of this, where I was just like obsessing, and then when I stopped and I was like, you know what, it's not fun anymore, and then I changed my tactics. There's no reason to drive yourself crazy over this stuff. There's no status in this. There's no nothing. It's supposed to be stupid fun. All of us have very real lives with very real things to take care of, people to take care of, jobs to do, all this kind of responsibilities. This is supposed to be fun. So I appreciate you saying that, Jake.
Marvel Madness X-23 is and always will be Wolverine's test tube baby.
That is so. That is cruel.
That
That
is savage and true.
savage and true. Yeah, you got the award for savage and true this episode. Yeah, it's true. And Charles was in it, man. Charles was going for grading stuff, really hidden, really quiet for a long time before he even showed his face. Really quiet. A lot of people did, you know what I mean? And then it is what it is. See, retro Jake is smart. Jake's like, yeah, X23 is garbage. He just wants those prices to fall. He just wants to buy it all.
What he needs to do is he needs to quietly collect the other clone of the clone, which is, well, was Honey Badger. I think she's X23 now, and X23 is Wolverine now. I think it's hard to keep track of how they all shift around, but there's a clone of Laura who's also a clone. So it's crazy. The rabbit hole just keeps going deeper and deeper.
Yeah. It just gets crazier and crazier. Well, okay, so you've seen a lot of it. You got a lot of helpful hints. This is a series that's going to continue. I think our next person is either Donald, Doom, Jake, Madness, whoever wants to come on. We'll just start cranking these out and talk to different character collectors and hopefully come across any hints, or if you have questions or things you are deciding to do. The sickness is real, but there's plenty of ways to go and you can get very deep. So there's plenty of room for all of us to be in this psychotic asylum. And we could be hanging out here. But graded pogs, I do want to start doing that. Joy collecting, have fun with this stuff, to quote my buddy Ian Taylor. Um, be happy doing this stuff. Again, don't try to have everything. Matt, thank you so much for being here and doing this with me. Is there anything you want to leave anybody leave in or talk about, or have a question from somebody who anything like that before we bounce?
No, I think we hit the important points, and Jake really summed it up well, which is make sure you're doing this and having fun while you're doing it. If the second you're not having fun doing it and it feels like a job, bounce, pivot to something else.
Sell and
Because
just be over it. Yeah, really don't do that. If you ever get to the point where it feels like you're working at this, you should stop. It's not worth it. You're never going to get your money out of it, and you're never make friends, be part of the hobby. I'm telling you, man, you won't regret that part.
the real PSA 10s were the friends we made along the way.
Aw, like the Mr. Rogers or Marvel cards. I love that. That's amazing. I love it. Well, thank you all for being here. I hope this was fun. People have been requesting this for some time, a little guide to character collecting and to show some more stuff. And I'm so glad Matt's in the thick of it now with me. So I'll be doing this more. Matt, if you want to always co-host, since you're my first guest and because you're awesome, you should co-host with me if you want to. But I
Awesome.
think we'll do these and have some fun. Thank you, Swami, for being here. Retro, Charles, Derpa, Jake, everybody, Madness. Thank you so much, guys. Donald, geez, Ryan, you guys rock. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you. All right, everybody, have a good one. Talk to you all soon.